But speaking of potentially attractive actors and actresses, what movie do we have next, Chuckster?
Boing! Yeah. So next up we've got Guns, which was from 1990, I believe. Yeah, 1990. Yeah, so, I mean, it's just the next movie in line from all these Andy Sedaris titty flicks. And this one is, I mean, look, I'll give you the plot, but to be honest, does it really matter? Does it really matter? So essentially, after a failed assassination attempt on her partner, the main DEA agent that we've seen in a lot of these previous movies, played by Donna Spear, she discovers that the crime lord responsible for her father's death is coming after her and her friends, basically. Yeah, like I was saying, it's really just like all the others. You're not going to watch this and be like, this one's a 10 out of 10 compared to the others, or this one's a 0 out of 10 compared to the others. I mean, Hard Ticket to Hawaii, that was a little bit different because it just had that extra added element of craziness with the snake, which we just haven't seen with any of these other movies, but they've all been pretty consistent in just what they do, really. And a lot of what they do is show titties, which I do enjoy. This is a type of movie I would purely call a popcorn flick. You know, you can turn off your brain and, well, your brain turns off anyways because the blood's already running to a different area, if you catch my drift.
You may not be as sly and coy as you might think you are.
Damn it. But, yeah, I did notice that Cynthia Brimhall is back. She was my favorite from some of the earlier movies, and I don't believe she was in the last one that we watched.
The Savage Beach.
Yeah, so it was really good to see her back, and I think once again she was the best looking one here, at least in my tastes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I did catch a name of this one woman, and to preface this, one of my big things with these movies is everybody reminds me of each other. So none of these women really stand out to me. So any of these have probably been main characters and I just haven't counted. But one of the women here, played by Roberta Vasquez, she played a character named Nicole. I thought she was probably the most attractive woman here. But you also have to throw a little munch into the fact that this movie also has Danny Trejo in it, which is sort of funny.
He's so young.
But he looks exactly the same too, which is the same mustache.
Yeah, he loves the stash. Yeah. Funny thing is, whenever I watch these movies, I always enjoy watching, well, before the movie starts, there's always like an intro on the Blu-rays, and it's usually the, like Andy Sedaris, and Julie Strain's usually next to him because she's in some of the other movies, and I guess they filmed these introductions all in one go. But, she always manages to get her tits out in these introductions, which is always something I look forward to, I must say. As soon as they're like, so, you know, they start talking about guns, and she's like, oh, you mean like these guns? And just whips them out.
You're a man of simple pleasures.
I definitely am. Can't wait for the next movie intro.
So, one of the things I actually legitimately appreciated about this movie was that it flashed back to, I think it was Picasso Trigger, but it shows an attack by a helicopter upon these two agents driving either to or from Las Vegas. But one of the characters in this movie apparently was the brother of one of those agents, so I just appreciated seeing that flashback.
I thought you were going to say you appreciated how many times they could use the same black guy in every movie as a different character.
Well, that's not surprising given this type of movie.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure that guy was even in Malibu Express.
So he's been here since the beginning.
Yeah, and in fact, I think even he was in one or two of the intros as well. So, yeah, he just seems to be one of those actors that just is like big friends with the director or something. I don't know, but he manages to find a way to get into every movie. despite not really having a consistent role. The music, it's pretty much the usual stuff, but I did notice in this one, just some of the randomness in the music, like the, I don't know if you call it the drumming in the background during certain theme songs, but it just seems so random, like do 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 do. It's just like all over the place. There's no beats or anything. It's just random snares and I don't know. But hey, I guess it works, or at least the titties are too distracting to really think too much about it.
On a related note, unrelated to the beautiful form of women, but one thing in the story I did also enjoy about this was how some of this plot was basically just to get these people out of Hawaii so they can use Hawaii without putting the operation at risk. So that was sort of a slightly more clever thing than I would have expected out of a movie like this. So I guess well done there.
How dare you stop talking about titties to talk about the plot?
I know. I am a often disappointed individual.
I'm disappointed in you.
Yes. How do you feel about the one magician guy who just like kills those two people? I mean, he's pretty badass, so.
Yes.
I feel sort of bad. Because that guy could have been like one of the main characters in a later movie. I would have watched that.
Well, it's pretty messed up that they that those guys at the beginning, after they assassinated that, or incorrectly assassinated that one woman, that they shoot Rocky on the way out. Can't have that firecrotch leave the movie so early.
I am happy that is your prime concern with that. Not that she was getting married in like a few days, but that the eye candy is now gone.
One less to look at, yes. Yeah, so guns. Look, like I said, it's pretty much like all the other ones. It's not really getting any too highs or lows. It's just consistently the same thing, pretty much from start to finish. You get guns in many different ways. I enjoy it enough, but I certainly don't. I mean, if they didn't have the women in it, would I watch these? No, I wouldn't. But because they're in there, it's enough to at least keep my attention, shall we say. 6 out of 10 is my score, because that's pretty much what I've given all the other ones, except Hard Ticket to Hawaii, which I think we gave a 7. Or at least I gave a 7.
Yeah, so much like you, this is pretty much the same as everything we've seen recently. I do think it's maybe a little better than Savage Beach, and maybe on par with Picasso Trigger. I do think the plot itself isn't complicated, but just all these characters who, were quote unquote supposed to know. I mean, maybe, I don't know how the average individual watches this, maybe they recognize, oh hey, that guy was in Picasso Triggerfish, and hey, that guy was definitely in How Ticket to Hawaii. I mean, they're all the same to me. All these women have been the same since the first movie. But it's totally enjoyable, so I'm also going to give this one a 6 out of 10, and, I could see myself watching this again, if only because there are some beautiful individuals within.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it just hit me. The one actress who I mentioned I enjoyed in this movie also played Pantera in, I think it was, Picasso Trigger. And I think I mentioned in that review that she was also my favorite actress there, so I have some consistency at least, so that's nice.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed her in Picasso Trigger as well, so just not my favorite.